is on trying to win on home soil after being losing finalists for the last 2 World Cups. Can you feel the tension?
I certainly can. It's a wonderful feeling before a big match like this. You can feel the tension building, you can feel the excitement building. It's just, the players just cannot wait to get on the pitch and start throwing that rugby ball around.
Martin Johnson knows what it's like to put Australia away in the World Cup. Australia trying to become the first nation in men or women's rugby to do the double, to hold the 7s and the 15s World Cups. The 7s achieved last year 2 wins from making history. First of all, the national anthems. Spines will be tingling at this rate. Martin Johnson knows what it feels like, of course, to be the other side of that white line. Australia's best ever finish in the World Cup then. They, though, want to rise higher. A 9 try, 62-0 win over South Africa. They feel they're genuine contenders. England racked up 146 points in the 3 games in the pool stages. Both teams brimming with belief.
Let's get over there. Let's go.
The referee is Nikki Inwood of New Zealand. Day job, a wildlife worker at the Orana Wildlife Park in Christchurch. She knows her rugby, though, also played for the Black Ferns in 1991. Yeah, Hemming, imagine that she'll be coming on in the second half. You can see how much this means. The conditions are perfect, slightly greasy now as the dew comes down. It's the semi-final of the Women's Rugby World Cup 2010. Here we go. Taken by Clark, and expect England to get stuck into the Australians if they can up front to start with.
Absolutely. I think both sides will want to keep it tight and steady first few minutes, and absolutely England want to get the ascendancy at the breakdown.
Brown punching that one long and over the head of Turner, and a very good kick too. Not much of an angle for the scrum half, but she has rifled that one upfield. And it's Cheryl Soon, the captain, who's a very, very fine player to get the ball there. England going up hard, and a good Good tackle coming in. So it's going to be the first line out, and how quickly are these nerves going to settle?
I think it will take a few minutes. This is the biggest game of their lives. You know, you could see the tension on the faces of both teams before they started. They'll be nervous, but they'll be excited, and it will just take a few minutes for that all to settle and for them to get into their game.
There's Garnett, 90 caps. Out wide, there are options with the likes of Waterman. Taylor takes that one. McLean, starting her 4th game. Drilled upfield there by Alice Richardson. Had a hamstring problem, but she's back in the lineup. There's a touch there from Barras. Comfortable at fullback. So testing each other out at the moment. Now maybe a chance for the counter. Oh, was spilled there by Joe McGilchrist, the Wasp player. The referee's happy to let that one play on. Clark playing scrum half. McLean just playing into the space. It's been chased hard by Scarrett. And she would have got hold of that one if the ball had stayed in, but a good strike.
Yeah, a good kick there from Katie McLean, and Emily Scarrett would have been disappointed with the bounce. But England have probably got the better there of the kicking exchanges. One poor kick from the Australian, perhaps lucky to get away with that not being given as a knock-on.
Polo getting ready to throw this one in. Brother Junior has played for Samoa, 16 caps. England contesting hard, but that's been mopped up by Chris Ross, the vice-captain. Soon, McGann. Turner's well placed. There's Waterman, she's got brilliant feet, and you can see she's already looking to cause damage. This is Garnett, the police officer, going into contact. McLean, Richardson short, and this is Emily Scarrett being put backwards. That's a fine tackle going in there. England retaining possession. Pocock getting into the thick of it, and Australia do well.
Lovely hit there, wasn't it, from the Australian? The Australian centres set the tone, I should imagine, for a few more hits like that later on in the game. Here it comes. Lovely hit, and Emily Scarrett could be a dangerous runner. That from number 13, lovely hit.
That was Williams that scored in the final play there. There's Alfonsi trying to take it. Shani Williams, a 13, scored that magical try that nudged Canada out of thinking that they were going to get that 4th spot. It's Australia that are the best runners-up. Lots of skill on show throughout this tournament. It's going to be interesting, not just in the front row, but this back row battle as well.
Absolutely, both sides have got mobile back row players. Australia have got players the calibre of Hodgkinson, Hargreaves, great sevens players, and England, of course, Alfonsi, Fisher and Spencer.
There's Spencer, the captain, leaving it for Turner. Clean. Little pop, Waterman. Doesn't manage to evade the snaffling tackle of Nicole Beck, known as Puck. Turner. She's pretty strong when she decides to take the ball up. Fonzie. Another few metres. Clark leaving it for Turner, and then that in turn has been driven up another couple of metres. Richardson starting to break off. First break for England. Could be the first try. Big handoff and a clattering tackle coming in there from Gitto to snap out the attack. Big chance for England. Clark was on the run there. She felt that maybe the loose head, she could have ran that one in. The first penalty going to England.
Just on the 5.
Lovely break from Alice Richardson, wasn't it? She brings a different options at 12 there. She plays a lot of her club rugby at 10, so she can really set the back line going, but she's also got a really good eye for a gap, as you can see there. Lovely break. That will settle the nerves.
And McLean has been kicking extremely well, so this penalty could easily have being kicked, but England have decided to go for the scrum, and that's the position. Good, strong forward effort to start with. Spencer controls, the advantage is being played to England. Spencer spinning, trying to get that over. Has she hit the line? The referee gives it, and that is the perfect start as England go through the 6-minute mark.
On the line to try, isn't it? A great start for England and great example set by Kat Spencer. It's what England have been looking to do all the way through the tournament. They've had a lot of 5-metre scrums that haven't quite come off. This time they're doing just enough. Kat Spencer picks it up, it looks like she's not going to get there, but just scrapes it over the line.
England knew they were powerful up front and immediately muscling their way over for 5 points. Well played, the skipper, and this is McLean. It's the 4th game on the bounce. Beautifully bisecting the uprights. 7 points to 0.
Lovely kick, wasn't it? Looks like she's got her kicking boots on again today after the previous game. And that try shows that it was the right decision to go for the scrum there. Big call in a game like this not to take the points, but it's paid off for England.
So Australia to restart. England getting pumped into touch there. Hargreaves coming up aggressively. Get a hand on it. Is that not forward? Soon does well. Now Australia with a chance, maybe a little bit wider out. Not the best pass from Trisha Brown.
Yeah, this is the kickoff where England needed to attack that kickoff. There's been a couple of times in this tournament where they haven't attacked the kickoff and end up giving the ball away. See here, Australia running the ball wide. They'll have watched the England-USA game where USA made some ground on England down the outside. So it looks like they're going to attack that channel. This time, though, didn't go to hand.
Perfect line out from Garnett to McGilchrist. And the Australians have a reputation, they've showed that throughout the competition, of extremely fine handling and decent footwork. So that was maybe a little bit surprising. Here's Brown. Deciding to let it go. She won the World Cup sevens last year, beating England in the quarter-final. 17-10, and quite a few of the England girls still feel the pain from losing in that quarter-final.
They certainly do, and I'm one of them. So I'm hoping that the girls today will get their revenge on my behalf. There was a beautiful kick from Alice Richardson. She's already showing what she can bring to this game at 12.
Soon getting caught by Rocky Clark and Garnett. Garnett being called by Gary Street the most competitive person he has ever met. Turner, Barras. Waterman waits and continues to wait. This is Pocock having a very fine tournament. Turner. Clean. Nice nudge.
Lovely kick, wasn't it? England definitely look like they're trying to play the game up the right end of the pitch. They've got two options now, Katie McLean Alice Richardson to kick out at 10 and 12, and so it looks like they're going to really make the best of that.
Wake up, open the gate.
Pressure on the Australian lineup. Polu. Taylor does get a hand on that, but Porter manages to mop it up. So from the Taylor hand, it's going to be a scrum to Australia, and Clark will be licking her lips at the prospect of packing down off the back of that previous scrum where England was so dominant.
She certainly will. This is a really big scrum for Mescal and Morgan in the front row for Australia. this is where they need to show that they can hold the scrum steady, get good ball, either an 8 pick or get the ball back to 10 quickly so that they can clear this. Really big scrum for them.
And Ross Crowley, the tight head for England, getting the nod ahead of Sophie Hemming, but expect to see Hemming at some point in the second half. Crowley, a very good defensive player and also showing what a quality scrummager she is. Good footwork there. McGann to avoid the clutches of Alfonsi. People don't usually forget when Alfonsi says hello to him.
Yeah, we can see Maggie Alfonsi putting the pressure on Toby McGann at 10 there, and I'm fairly sure they'll be trying to do that all day. If they can put this kind of pressure on at scrum time, it means that Toby McGann at 10 is not going to get the space that she'd like, and we can expect to see Maggie Alfonsi and Heather Fisher running at her a lot.
Good line out. Garnett goes back to help her scrum half out, and see how quickly Australia were through. Poured onto the English player well there. Clean, well tackled by Toby McGann. Getting a clear run with Tui Ormsby, who fractured her cheek.
Let it go.
Australia having to absorb a lot of territorial pressure.
Yeah, they're absorbing a lot of pressure. England have got a lot of ball, but Australia just cannot get out of this, just outside their 22 at the moment. They really need to connect with the ball and kick it a long way down the pitch, play the match in the right places.
See the way England are going up to try and steal that ball. Australia do well. Soon. Clark was charging that one down. Pocock. Waterman scored 2 majestic tries against the United States. Quite sensational. Turner. McLean quite happy to thread that one through and push Australia back into their 22 again.
Yeah, it's a real contrast of kicking game there, wasn't it? Katie McLean threaded it through, no chance for the Australians to counter-attack. On the other hand, the Australian kick went straight into the hands of the England back three. And in their back three, they've got Fee Pocock, Danielle Waterman, Charlotte Barris, all of whom are equally comfortable at 15. Yeah, I mean, look at those possession stats. Just shows that the pressure that Australia have had to absorb so far.
Good take from Ross, who's represented New South Wales at surf boat rowing. Multi-talented individuals across both teams, and this is an excellent drive there from Australia, taken up by Hargreaves, who is extremely dynamic. McGann, Barris, got time, deciding to run it, and does well. Good tackle there from the fly half. Spencer. Clark with the scrum half pass, clean. Topped up, Taylor. The referee says that was forward.
England showing their ambition there, running it from their half of the pitch. A little bit of indecision, they weren't quite sure which way to go, but in the end, Charlotte Barris made the decision and went forward and got far enough in front of her forwards that they were able to rip the ball out.
Taylor in support there. So England will be pleased with the scoreline and the way that they've settled in. Australia, we know, are so dangerous and they can bite back so quickly. And look at the power exerted by England at the scrum time, and now chasing down the runners. Turner catches soon. Look at Alfonsi going hunting and getting the ball there. Big boot across the field. Trisha Brown beautifully positioned. Clean. Pocock. She's rapid. Skips her way past one. Australia looking to steal. Not this time. Waterman. It's good cover tapping there from Cathoan.
look at that scrum. It's not, I suppose, not unusual in the last few years to see an England scrum dominating an Australian one, and the England tack there showed just what they can do. And Maggie Alfonsi poaching off the back of it is what she'll want to be doing all day.
Clean line out for Australia. This is the short ball coming straight through. The referee says that was forward, nearly perfect. There's physicality, aggression and excellence, not least from Maggie Alfonsi there.
Yeah, and there she is, poaching off the back of that scrum just now. Always in the right place at the right time.
Got a phenomenal work rate, Maggie Alfonsi, known as the Machine. And there's Fisher on the other side. She's phenomenally dynamic. But that's a better scrum, at least initially, from Australia. Turner, McLean, Richardson. This is Pocock, ripping her way around the outside and cutting back in nicely. McLean was there, so was Alfonsi. Good turnover from Australia, and crucial 1-2.
It was a good turnover. That break there came, I think, from slightly naive defending from Australia. They had only 2 people out on the open side there to defend that scrum, which meant one simple pass out to Fiona Pocock in the wing, and she was able to make a lot of ground.
Well, this game is being shown live across the world. Welcome to everybody watching in Australia. Getting up early. This is Alfonsi. The power of the woman is evident for all to see. Turner, clean. Richardson, Waterman bouncing her way past Cheyenne Campbell. It's a good ball. Turner, clean. Richardson deciding to cut back in. There was Pocock and Barras outside.
It's just small differences at the moment, an inch here or there. If Alice Richardson had a split second more on that pass and it had gone, I think England would have been in space. Similarly to the Australian move just now that the referee called a forward pass, probably a millimetre forward, but it's those millimetres in big games like this that can make all the difference.
So a disciplined game being played by both sides so far, just one penalty conceded by each. Heavily contested at line-out time.
Lovely take from Maggie Alfonsi. What she does very well here is stay on her feet. She's surrounded by Australian players. She stayed on her feet long enough. That
was very cute by Australia. Taken up by Polu. Soon. McGann. Bit of miscommunication between Barras and Waterman, but Barras gets back. They're very comfortable at fullback. Maybe a chance out wide, being shipped on. Scarrett to Pocock. Pocock, now let's see the pace of the left winger. Decided to go round. Oh, good running from Pocock. One to beat now. Oh, what a hit going in there.
Great hit, wasn't it? Also great hands to get England to that position for first place. You could see Fiona Pocock just sprinting away from her support there, so it was either going to be a great finish or a great tackle. There she goes, past the 15, but it's the covering winger, I think, who makes this excellent hit.
Oh. Look at that. Pocock absolutely flattened there by Nicole Beck.
Hey, she won't mind that. She made 50 metres first, but what a wonderful tackle.
And if anybody had any doubts as to the physicality of women's rugby, I think that put pay to any thoughts that it might not be anything other than very, very physical. Clark, she knows how to take the ball up. So England getting close, but just that knock-on giving Australia a momentary respite. But it's going to be a scrum. Okay, you know how to cover tackle, Sue. There's the former England fullback.
I do. I'm not sure I ever made one quite like that. The timing of that, was perfection, wasn't it? She hit her at the sort of the top of her arm, flying through the air.
Touch.
And she's not in a great way.
Come up, stay square one. Stay square.
Just having a breather. So England in a good position inside Australia's 22 with the line out to come.
They are, but Fiona Pocock's still off the pitch, I think, after that tackle, which will be very worrying for them. It was a lovely break, but it looks like she's hit. It looks like an impact injury on the floor as part of the tackle. Doesn't look too good at the moment.
England haven't made a replacement. And it's England on the attack. McLean, Alfonsi. Straight into the traffic. Good ball. Turner. McLean. Richardson. Scarrett ducking back. She's powerful and strong, and you can see the leg drive there. The forwards arrive, the likes of Taylor, to try and push her forwards. England looking for this ball now. Clark being pushed back. Turner, nice pop, Waterman! Very well played. Exerted the pressure, and Waterman gets the try.
Lovely bit of skill. Looked for all the world like they were just going to pick and drive that. Then Amy Turner changed her mind, fixed the player, and just popped out to Danielle Waterman. Lovely bit of skill.
Fonzie made the initial dart up the middle.
Yeah.
So England in a very good place right now, 12-0 up with the conversion to come. It's a tough one. And Michaela Staniford is on as well for Fiona Pocock.
Yeah, Michaela's come on for Fiona Pocock. Michaela Staniford's a very experienced international, played a lot of rugby on the wing, a lot of rugby at 13, so she'll be very comfortable coming on there. Great replacement for England to have, but such a shame for Fee Pocock.
England looking good. Let's go down pitch side. Rob Andrews with Melissa.
Rob, what a start. What have you made of the first quarter?
Well, they're in total control, you know, which is, I'm sure that's how they wanted to play. Quite a lot of territory, a lot of kicking from the fly half. We've seen that before somewhere. And, you know, in control, 2 tries in the first quarter. They'll be very pleased.
I seem to remember you knocking Australia out of the '95 World Cup. You know the tensions these girls are going through. What do they need to focus on in this game?
Well, I think just doing the simple things well, that's what they've talked about. And, you know, they've had a great tournament so far. One more step before the final, and they couldn't have asked for a better start in the first 20 minutes.
Thanks for your time. Back to you, Will.
Australia with good ball now. And England defending on their 22 as Shani Williams cuts back.
Yeah, Rob Andrew talked about doing the simple things well. Gathering kickoffs like that, what England really need to do is then be getting it back down the other end of the pitch. Really good attacking opportunity here for Australia.
Split left and right. Again now. Alfonsi gets hold of Hodgkinson. 2 world-class players going head-to-head there. Soon just flipping that one out. Advantage being played to England. And it's going to be interesting to see how Hodgkinson and Alfonsi continue to lock horns.
It certainly is. That's a great matchup. 2 really mobile back row players, 2 players who are so important to their teams. First blood just, I think, to Maggie Alfonsi there.
Look at that. 2 top-rate players tussling in the semi-finals of a World Cup. And it doesn't look too good there for Pocock. She'll be desperately hoping that her World Cup isn't over, partly due to the injury, and she'll of course be hoping that England can continue their good form in the first quarter of this match.
Yeah, it's hugely disappointing for Fiona Pocock. She's had an outstanding tournament so far. A hat-trick, I think, in one of the earlier games just showed the range of skills that she has. So really disappointing end to this game for her, but hopefully she'll have a chance to be back.
Good strike there for McLean. McLean kicking well. the Black Ferns wait in the final. 3 times world champs. It was a massive hit that put Helena Pocock on the floor. McLean comes round and Scarrett. Lovely footwork there. She's really getting into the tournament. Maybe a slow start. She showed her class last game against the United States, where England won 37-10. Australia deciding to pump that one back. But Gilchrist goes back extremely well, and she's very quick for a lot. Oh, what a hit going in there from her opposite number, Kate Porter. There's lots of space there. Brown hits that one long. Turner's often so well positioned for that kick. Barras deciding to spin it. Waterman. Nasty ball there for Nicole Beck to take. Beck, the winger that put in that crunching tackle on Pocock. Turner. Deciding to smash it up the middle. Good run from Turner. Was that forward? The referee's happy to let it go. Taylor. Clark trying to pull the Wallaroos out of the way soon. Australia desperate to try and get some semblance of control in the way that they play. Bashed up by Hodgkinson soon. Again deciding to kick. And Alfonsi a little bit over-eager.
That was a long phase of play. There was kick after kick, running it, kicking again. If the players wanted to show their fitness, they certainly showed it there.
So 12-0 up, nearly half an hour played, and England so far looking very solid in terms of their defence. They've only leaked 2 tries in 3 games. And that was actually against the United States last match. Turner knowing how to break her way up the middle.
Yeah, I think she decided there'd be 1 too many kicks. Run it this time.
Lovely pluck there from Miss Crowley. Difficult one for McLean to take.
Yeah, England will be pleased with the pressure they put on at the line out there, but not so pleased with the knock-on. This is a really good attacking opportunity for Australia. Lots of space up there on the Australian right. Here goes Amy Turner up the middle. Lovely pass inside to Nolly Waterman.
She lost in the quarterfinals of the World Cup sevens. 7 of the England team remember the pain. She was one of them. Now hovering around soon. Is that Spencer going in to try and take that? Not very happy for the ball to emerge from the pile. Again, just getting a little bit of a nudge from Alfonsi. Again, popping it back inside, and Spencer making the tackle. England making it tough for Australia, but that was good from Hargreaves. It's in her 3rd World Cup. Again, coming back. Thanks to the switch being offered. Soon, little pop inside. It's much better from Australia. Looking to the short side and over the gain line again. Australia nearly up to the 22, looking for the first points of the semi for them. Tackle still coming in as Shani Williams rolls and spins. Again, soon looking to see where the opportunity might come. Hodgkinson. Soon with that wonderful service of hers. And a triple tackle going in there. Still, Australia present the ball. Fighting to get over the gain line. It's robust from England at the moment. The defence orchestrated by Simon Middleton of Leeds. McGann with the chip through. Waterman hammering it high, underneath Beck. Good footwork from Beck, lovely pass as well. Very cute as Campbell takes it into the 22. Nicely played from Beck. Australia looking very threatening now to throw in. And again, Hargreaves, phase after phase. Again. Pop inside and Campbell. Oh, it's very physical. Alfonsi has got a hold of the ball. And all that work comes to nothing. McLean gets a chance to clear her lines.
Yeah, England will be very, very pleased with that defensive work. There were probably 10 phases in the first part of that before the ball was kicked, and then several phases afterwards, and their defence was equal to it all the way through.
So England quite perfect in the first two games, 27-0 against Ireland, 82-0 against Kazakhstan. Then the United States managed to get 2 tries, 10 points, but those 10 points, the only points being conceded in this World Cup by England so far. Maggie Alfonsi has been at the heart of so much of that. Tackle after tackle. She has got such an engine. Very well organised defence from the likes of Rocky Clark to the back rows. They are very robust.
Yep, lovely. Keep these vines up, props on
A good crowd has come flooding in, and the tickets are selling well for the final. So if you're thinking of coming down on Sunday, get your tickets, because whoever joins New Zealand will no doubt partake in one heck of a final. England looking good at the moment. McLean, Barras, Scarrett, and rolling around the outside, Staniford. Over halfway. Australia get back well to slow the ball up.
Really ambitious from England. They're running the ball from their 22. Of course, in the 22, the Australian defensive wingers are back, so they've got a bit more space to run into. Here goes Amy Turner.
Turner to Garnett. Garnett, 90 caps. And always at the thick of things. Look at that. Kind of rucking. Extremely good work there from Chris Ross. Advantage being played to England. Alfonsi. McLean. Starting to take it to the line. Referee happy to let that one go as Barras cuts away. Upfield, big hit going in there from Campbell to drop the winger Barras. Good timing from Porter to manage to steal that one out, but Garnett's been singled out by the referee Inwood.
Lovely hands from England, quick hands from England out wide. Perhaps a suspicion of forward, but you know, it was good enough for them to get away with it.
Oh, more than a suspicion, surely. So Turner, who likes to take those quick taps, often makes a lot of ground in doing so. Trying to keep that pace up. England playing from their 22. Looking to catch Australia. Second time Australia have gone to the front like that successfully. Again. Alfonsi knows exactly what Williams was trying to do. Again. Over the top of Turner. Waterman. Loves to run if she thinks there's an opportunity. England maybe with numbers. Pops it to Scarrett. Scarrett popping it across to Barras. Barras knows that the best option was to chip that one on. McLean does well. Popped inside, and soon there was nothing she can do. Australia really rolling the dice there. Was Barras taken out after she chip that one upfield.
Goal just over there for me, please.
Oh yeah, that was late, wasn't it?
Come on, Andy.
It looked like to me, it certainly looked like she could have pulled out of that if she wanted to.
Okay. Quite heavy seat.
Shoulder going in there. Not exactly a tackle. Let's have a listen to the referee.
Okay, so we're looking at a penalty?
Yes.
Okay, will you give me the mark?
Can do.
And it's going to be against Gold
Goal
number
number 12.
12. I'll speak to her. Thank you. Gold captain. Captain. And number 12, please.
Cheyenne Campbell being called across.
After the kick, there's been a late hit by this player. Penalty only. You're on a warning now. Discipline, no more. Okay? Give me the mark, please. How far in?
A pantomime boo from the crowd.
Where I am here. Time on. Shoulder charge. Penalty. No, it's a late hit. Late hit. Foul play here.
Campbell knew it. England knew it, but Barris is back up. She's fine. England won't want to lose another winger. Pocock going off on a stretcher. Clean.
I don't think they can argue. She can argue with that. It's a late hit. She hit her with the shoulder after. She could have pulled out of that. Now, England are really good attacking position here, and it was, quite a good phase of play that got them there. But I think if they're going to be really critical of themselves, they just need to pass the ball just slightly sooner. They've got to fix and give a little bit sooner to give the wingers that bit more space.
Got it. To the tail. Lovely line out from England, and they now set themselves. Garnet maybe in the thick of it. Now England crabbing across. Driving hard, England, so close. Not forward. Turner so close to getting the third try.
Are you right, 9? Do we need time? Okay. Back to you, ladies. 5.
Just reaching to place it, wasn't it, that she lost control of the ball there. Great last-ditch defence from Australia.
.50 caps and counting. She's a fantastic player, isn't she?
She is without a doubt one of the most skillful players that I've ever been lucky enough to play with. She's got everything. She's got a great pass off both hands, a great kick off both feet. And she can run with the ball. You just don't know if she's going to pass or she's going to run.
And there's quite a nudge being put on there by the England scrum, but Alfonsi being singled out by the referee of breaking off too early. Ominous signs at that scrum for Australia. Not the first time that's happened in an England-Australia game.
Absolutely not. Given the amount of pressure, Australia did well to clear their lines there. England will be looking to pile that pressure on at scrum time. Make it so hard for the 9 to get the ball away from the scrum and put more and more pressure on Toby McGann.
Arsene Johnson looks as though he's got his game face on the left there. Mike Ford, the England defence coach, and he'd be extremely pleased to see a 0 with the opposition's name alongside.
Yeah, England have had a lot of possession now, and they'll be disappointed they haven't made that possession count a little bit more in the last 10 or 15 minutes. A few little areas just creeping to get. Lovely line out here though. Lovely ball to play off, but the move just didn't quite work out.
Clark been singled out. No doubt frustrated that she's been pinged. England with clear dominance at the scrum. England dominant at the scrum, World Cup, but being pinged.
We've seen it once or twice before.
Getting possession though. Turner, McLean, looking to thread her way through. Alfonsi now Comes to make sure the ball is good for Turner. Clean stretches and takes that nicely. Waterman coming back, one hand off. Good tackle. Spencer up to the 22. Clark bashing away. Up a few metres too. McGann getting entangled. This is good ball, clean. At the middle is Fisher. The ball's out. Turner managed to get it to McLean. Lovely hands from Scarrett, that was class. To manage to pop it on.
Lovely hands from Emily Scarrett, wasn't it? Beautiful piece of skill. Here goes Rocky Clark. The direct route, but very, very effective.
Thank you.
McGann has another bite. Soon. As well. And it's an extremely solid first half for England as Kath Spencer leads her team into the interval. So in the semi-final of this Rugby World Cup 2010, England 2-0, 12-0 up. England 4 times finalists, once winners. Rob Andrew will know how important it is for the game, for the individuals concerned, for England not just to get to the final, but to win the final on home soil. Of course, he's in charge of trying to grow a men's team, not just to do damage down in New Zealand, but also to do something special. England hosting the World Cup in 2015. Maggie Alfonsi, a world star. Class act. Time and time again, she shows what a dangerous customer she is. Kath Spencer, no doubt she would have dreamt of getting to the final, but she knows that Australia can come back. 12-0 is not safety.
Absolutely not, and I'm sure that's something they'll have been talking about at half-time, both Australia and England. 2 scores is not a big difference, so both teams need to be getting the points on the board this half.
Over the head of Hodgkinson to Hargreaves, who's powerful. And again, so's Fisher, the former GB bobslayer. Soon just dinks that one over the head of Turner. Turner's calling for it and gets it. Waterman. Deciding to have a dart through the middle. There's Alfonsi on her shoulder. Lovely ball for McLean. Didn't quite get her angles as she would want them. Easy one for Trisha Brown.
Yeah, the kick just didn't go quite where Katie McLean intended. That was supposed to be a dab into the corner.
She's worked the ball around the pitch very nicely tonight, though, hasn't she?
Yeah, she has, and I think it's helped having her to have Alice Richardson on the outside. They've got 2 different options, which means the defence, chasing up and putting the pressure on, doesn't quite know who they're aiming for. It's giving both of them a little bit more space.
Here's Fisher, getting caught. Turner, managed to hit at the referee. Here's Clark. Oh. Soon gets put on her backside. McLean. Inside to Alfonsi, just smashing it up. Good footwork as well. Clean. Scarrett. That is a bright young star. Strong, skillful. Excellent work from the Wallaroos to turn that one over. Barras. Waterman has time to make her decision. First instinct is always to run, and look at the fiery handoff that cutting her way through the Wallaroos. That's brilliant from Waterman.
Lovely handoff, wasn't it? From not a particularly tall girl, but she got the angle on the handoff there and got over the gain line in front of her forwards, which will make her popular with them.
Alfonsi through the middle! She is so powerful. Chance now coming for England, maybe to get their third try. Richardson just caught, the forwards now pile their way in. Ball rolls backwards. Australia quickly down onto that and did extremely well to get that one away. Alfonsi loves those charges through the middle, doesn't she?
Yeah, there was a very slight dogleg in the defence, and she managed to make the most of it. Lovely ball inside from Emily Scarrett. Here goes Nolly Waterman on her run from fullback.
She has a dynamite handoff as well, doesn't she, Nolly Waterman? Jan gets a good strike on this one. This is Waterman. Flings that one beautifully to Bowers. What a pass that. Bowers looking to see what options are available all the way out wide. Giteau makes the tackle. And the sister of Matt there on the wing. Australia's defence so far robust. Spencer picks that up nicely. Waterman waits, but it goes to McLean. Oh, she took a hand off it. This is the turnover. Picked up by Chris Ross. Soon. Again. It's Campbell.
No advantage. Scrum. Goal ball.
England have shown how dangerous they are on the counter, often started by Waterman.
Yeah, here she goes. Showed it a couple of times the previous game. Lovely handoff. What she does is use her footwork, get out of the gain line and get in front of the forwards. There's the lovely ball inside from Alice Richardson to Maggie Alfonsi. The support just couldn't quite get with her.
And nice and square, please. Thank you.
Australia still putting those hits in. Alfonsi proving
Touch!
game after game.
Engage!
She is the complete package. Good pick up there from Hutchinson to Soon. Brown delaying the pass. Christy Giteau. Soon flat pass, referee in the way. It'll be a scrum. Australia may not want that end result. So England with that perfect result there so far. 28 made. None missed.
Not a bad stat, that is it. They'll be hoping to keep that going at this scrum too. And of course, the backs out there, the England backs watching the Australian backline are helped by how dominant the England scrum is when they're defending.
And there, Fisher pouncing on that. It was so difficult there for Debbie Hodgkinson to pick it up. Spencer trying to work her way infield. We keep that ball alive for England. Advantage being played.
Yeah, you'd expect England now to kick this ball into the corner, give them a really good attacking position.
Not much of an angle, but that's a beautiful kick there. Really cool from McLean. Look at the power exerted at that scrum, and Fisher smelt that opportunity, didn't she?
Yes, so difficult for Debbie Hodgkinson at the back of the Australian scrum there. When it's going backwards, she's trying to control the ball with her feet whilst moving backwards and pick the ball up. So difficult. Gave Heather Fisher the opportunity to jump onto the ball.
Replacing for England, coming on the field, number 1, Rochelle Clark.
Just about to go in, but on comes Hemming for Rocky Clark, and so Ros Crowley will go to loose head. Hemming, the Bristolian vet. Fantastic tight head coming on. Turner. Little pop, Garnett leaves the ball.
Again for England, it's just another one of those moves that's nearly gone to hand but hasn't quite. We talked about that in the first half. Both teams have made a few, and it's just stopping either of them getting the points on the board at the moment.
England with 7 handing errors so far.
Yeah, and you know, they've had a lot of territory, and that's what stopped them making the most of it.
Much better scrum there from Australia. It might be something to do with Clark having just gone off and Crowley and Hemming organising themselves.
Yeah, there's the latest in the handling errors. They'll be desperate to stop letting those errors come into their game.
Nasty one for Turner. And as Taylor picks that one up, the offside is given. So England not managing to extend their lead. They've had quite a bit of territory.
They have, and another unforced error at the line of leg. Lovely take, but just thrown too hard down at Amy Turner, and that's not the first time that's happened, so it's certainly something that they'll need to look at. They've been putting a lot of pressure on the Australian line out, and England have generally been winning their own ball, but it's what they do with it afterwards, getting good ball to 9, is what's going to make the difference.
Taylor trying to unpick the Aussie line out. Hodgkinson takes a good drive upfield too. Excellent rolling maul. Spencer in there, but soon to McGann. Waterman. 2 fantastic tries against the United States last game. Here's Scarra. England looking to switch back. Barras popping the ball up. This is looking more fluid. Alfonsi's there. Turner frustrated she didn't get a little bit quicker on that ball. There's Crowley trying to make sure the ball comes back. Excellent thieving. Was that Porter? Managed to get her hands on the ball. Brilliant from the Wallaroos.
Captain.
Yeah.
Captain. Halfback. Yeah, you should know better. Can't dive through, smack the ball out of the hand. That's a warning for you, okay? Just a bit of discipline. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good defence from Australia. England are getting relatively slow ball at the breakdance. They've got to be careful not to spread the ball away where there's not enough support to win the ball back. Very, very good stealing the ball from Australia, though.
Australia showing the competitive DNA, as you would expect, by managing to turn that over. Alfonsi down, securing it for England. Turner, McLean, maybe a chance a little bit wider here. Scarrett, Australia managed to get across. The pop was good to Richardson. Turner, McLean, Fonzie, little pop, Barras deciding to go around the outside. Good tackle going in there. The flag is up. Excellent drift tackling there from Australia. England can't break the line in this second half.
Yeah, the Australia, I mean, look at those territory statistics. England have played the whole game pretty much in this half, but haven't been able to get over the line. Great defence from Australia. The ball here really stretches the Australian defence. Out wide to Maggie Alfonsi, fixes the last player. Lovely footwork from Charlotte Barras, but Nicole Beckett 11. Lovely cover tackle.
Barras is a Big, strong runner, but the Saracens player there being cut down. Garnet down. And England, in an ideal world, just as New Zealand were doing, would want to try and close the game out and get some of their major players to get something of a rest, if they are, of course, confident that they'll get to the final. So Essex on for Taylor in the second row. But with half an hour gone, there's plenty of time for Australia to score a couple of tries.
Yeah, Australia's problem at the moment, of course, though, is they're just stuck in this 22, or certainly in their own half. Every time they try and kick the ball out, they're either not making enough distance or they're kicking it down the throats of the England back three, who will want that kind of ball to run back all day.
So a good size short side there with Barras. It's going to be a reset.
Interesting to see if they go for something different or the same thing again. Now that they've given that move away, England.
Barras waits how she'd love to have a one-on-one. Lots of space for a killer finisher like Barras. Spencer Turner going to that short side, popping it to Barras, who cuts back. Excellent tackling from Australia. Now they go open. Waterman, oh, big hit going in there. Excellent tackle there from Gitto. Timed a tackle perfectly. Hemming gets put on her backside after knocking it on. England will want to show the killer instinct, and it's not quite there at the moment.
Not quite, but that was outstanding defence from Kirsty Gitto. It's so difficult in those wide channels when you've got a lot of players running at you. She makes the right decision there. If she'd drifted out onto the wider player, there'd have been a half gap for Ollie Waterman, and she'd have been in. She cuts in, comes out of the line to make the hit before Ollie Waterman's got time to make the tackle. Outstanding defence.
Clough is on, and into the second row. And Stanifield maybe would have thought that the pass would have been got out to her. But Gitto does the business. It's been a challenging evening at times for the likes of Soon and Hodgkinson at the base of the scrum.
Yeah, it's so difficult for Australia. They really want to clear their lines here, but the scrum so far hasn't been steady enough.
Well, that's quite a nudge, and there's an excellent pick-up too from Hodgkinson. Class from the number 8. Soon getting caught by Spencer. Spencer coming in the side.
This should give Australia a chance to clear their lines a bit. If Toby McGann at 10 can get good length on her kick, it'll give them the territory they need.
Still can't really get any sort of distance, so England will continue to pressure the line out, safe in the knowledge that they are well upfield. Good rumble upfield from the Wallaroos, and then try to snuff it out. Fonzie over the top of it. The referee screaming to make sure the ball is released. Again, Campbell straightening. Oh, lovely handoff from Campbell and a good break from the inside centre. This is better from Australia. Richard Brown chipping that one upfield and unusually now into England's half.
Yeah, that'll give Australia a bit of confidence and also a bit of territory. They really want to put some pressure on this line out, get the ball back, and they'll be playing probably for the first time in this half in England's defensive half.
Garnett will be hoping from the sidelines that she will be playing in a World Cup final as Emma Croker takes her place right in the middle and straight into the thick of it.
A big moment for Emma Croker coming on, making her first throw-in in a World Cup semi-final.
Immediately a turnover, and soon we'll put the ball in.
Hooker, you can't take a big step in like that, okay? Must be just on the line.
So they're Croker being told that not allowed to take a big step over the line when she throws that ball in.
Number 1 goal, please. Substitution. Vicky, I can't hear you. You're cutting out. So can you just talk maybe a wee bit slower?
Siya Sa'ao coming on in the front row for Australia.
Australia, we want to get this ball in and out of the scrum as quickly as possible.
No, not happy with that. It's on my touch call, okay? Number 3, not before and not after, okay? Set it again, please.
So 12-0 at half-time and not a point since. England would have felt that they're getting the ascendancy at the set piece, but it's much more solid from Australia. Soon, McGann, Campbell, short, but the tackles come in there on Williams. Now maybe time for Australia to strike. Scarrett with the tackle there. Hoskinson. Turnover. England do manage to get possession after a few phases of Australian play. Turner, clean. Starting to play the ball deep. Gitto. Gets the double tackle. And the ball comes back neatly for Soon. Again, Alfonsi terminates the go forward from Australia there. Australia up to halfway. Still well in this game, Australia. You can just see where the opportunities arise. Not down Alfonsi's channel. Still, look at that fighting attitude as they go forward a little bit further and now get the penalty.
Number 8. Yeah, I know, but just not good enough. Need to be a bit more of a positive action here in the tackle, okay? That's 2 against you. Yeah, and you, thank you.
And Australia played New Zealand in the pool stages, 32-5 to New Zealand. And it's been interesting to see where the rugby's been played in this second half.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, England have had so much possession and so much territory, but haven't been able to convert it into points. The next 5 or 10 minutes are pretty crucial. Australia finally have some territory. If they can turn that territory into points, that will give them a huge amount of confidence and at the end of the match, very, very interesting.
82% in Australia's half. No points scored from England's point of view. Beale comes on, as does Rachel Burford. And Beale's exciting, explosive, free-running number 8, replacing Kath Spencer, the captain.
Yeah, that's a big, big call from England. That's the captain and the vice-captain coming off the pitch. So The other senior players on the pitch now need to really step up and lead this team.
Again, Fonzie with yet another tackle. England trying to steal it. You can hear from the referee that she was telling England to leave the ball. There's Fisher in there as well, trying to drive through. Australia protect possession. As this game's wearing on, it's becoming a lot more even. England absorbing a few metres, but patience is possibly being rewarded now.
That's a harsh call, I think, on England there. It looked like they'd stolen the ball and got there and got the ball and recycled it, but referee had a different view on that.
Talk us through this.
Yeah, here's the turnover. So England got their hands on the ball, ruck over, but you know the referee sees it differently. Decisions go, even out over the course of a game.
Soon, Gitto back inside to Campbell, and it's not the first time she's met Alfonsi. Tackle going in there. It's Essex. Soon, looking to the short side. Tolu. Again. White wall coming up. Burford off the bench, fresh, making that tackle. Hodgkinson. No luck there for the Wallaroos yet. Still good possession for the captain soon to fire it out. Tolu cutting back. Lovely service, isn't it, from the scrum half? Quite majestic. Holding on grimly, England. Turned over. And the referee's not having it. Nikki Inwood, the New Zealander, understand what it's like to play international rugby. She got 11 caps for the Black Ferns as a hooker. Let's go down pitch side. Claire Allens with Melissa.
Well, Claire, a few decisions not going England's way at the moment. The right decisions, do you think?
Maybe not the decision I'd have made, but, sometimes you get some, sometimes you don't. I think Burf did quite well there, turning the ball over, but, they've got next time.
You had so much possession, so much territory at the beginning of this half. Will the nerves be creeping in that you haven't actually made those into points?
I don't think there'll be nerves. I think the girls have done really well, kept quite patient. They're keeping the pressure on. So I think it's, only a matter of time till they get some points on the board.
And on the flip side, your defence coach would be happy, won't he?
Oh, fantastic. The girls' defence has been phenomenal. It's been something we've really focused on this year. It's just a mentality that they almost enjoy being in defence. They can, get involved, smash someone.
Now, your vice-captain, your captain are off. Who are the leaders on that pitch that will be making the calls now?
Oh, there's loads and loads of leaders on the pitch, but I think Amy Turner will probably have stepped up to the mark. She's such an inspirational player. That she'll be out there calling all the shots. Absolutely fantastic.
And how important is Maggie Alfonsi again?
Oh yeah, she's putting in some big hits as usual. Yeah, she's fantastic. But again, I think Becky Essex just come on there. She's just made a massive hit as well.
Thanks for time. Back to you, Will.
Thanks, Mel. Australia, of course, trying to become the first nation in men's or women's rugby to hold both the 7s and the 15s World Cup. 12-0 down at the moment, but still very much feeling that they've got a quarter of the game left to play and time to overcome this 2-try deficit. Advantage being played. Is that Alfonsi coming in at the side? There's Alfonsi with a massive hit going in on Treflowen. So England have to retreat. And that's 10 tackles for Alfonsi now.
Number 7, offside.
Now this is a good chance for Australia to get deep into England's 22 and to strike.
It is, and England have given a few penalties away now in a row, and they'll need to be careful about their discipline. The referee's warned, I think, a couple of the players already, so she'll be thinking about reaching to her pocket.
It's a really intensive competition, potentially 5 games in 17 days. Maroons have had some luck from the front there. Worked out that the ball comes back their way quite neatly. McGann trying to spin it this time. Tackle comes in. Brown. Gitto waits. Got a lot of work to do. Cuts back. Soon waiting for the runner, and it was Polu. Couldn't take the ball. Alfonsi was waiting.
Do you think it was just the sight of Maggie Alfonsi there waiting that brought the mistake?
Alfonsi was perfectly positioned. That shoulder would have gone in properly if the ball had been secured. CJ Morgan coming on. He's a beautiful runner, replacing Campbell at centre. And Rory Jane Morgan going to inside centre. So it's a straight swap.
Yeah, she's a lovely runner too, isn't she? As we've seen in the previous game. If they get any ball, we can expect to see her getting an early touch, I would have thought.
And Australia's scrum has been much improved in this second half.
So,
and Rocky Clark on the bench. He's been replaced by Hemming there.
yeah, Rocky Clark's come off, and obviously a few words were had at half-time with the Australian front row to give him a few points. It has been much more solid in this half.
Beale. The strength of Beale. An exciting player when she gets some space, maybe a little bit wider. Brown. Gitto. Does well to stay in field. Staniford had her number, but England's counter-ruck there. Fisher trying to stay in field, but it's going to be an Australian line-out, is it?
No, I think it was a good counter-ruck from England, but the ball bobbled out, and I think Australia picked it up and got tackled into touch. So England ball, we'll see here now. As you say, really good work from Gitto on the wing not to go into touch. So important as a winger that you don't just give easy turnovers away like that.
Croker. And that's another one that's not straight. So England took the decision to take Amy Garnett off, and McLean, Spencer, the spine of the side, where a large proportion of it has been taken off now.
Yeah, and in the first half, the England set piece was so dominant. This half, it's been much more even. Australia have really stepped up to the mark. And that's the main reason why Australia have had so much more ball.
Better scrum from England that time, but it's out to McGann. Morgan delaying her pass, nice and flat as well, and at full throttle there, Beck. Waterman does the business, and Beck knows what it's like to unload a big tackle. She put Pocock into the hoardings in the first half, and Waterman proving that she is well up to the task there.
Yeah, great tackle from Molly Waterman, almost in exactly the same point as Nicole Beck put a tackle in the first half. She's been tackled equally well, lovely hit. Really crucial line-out now for Emma Croker.
Going to the front, and the ball is secured. Beale. The England forwards taking responsibility. Chase from Hargreaves. And it's by far from England's game. Waterman making the vital tackle. Australia, just as they were beginning to...
Scrum white ball.
Just as they're beginning to get some momentum, but as ever, England-Australia, always so phenomenally competitive, close to, gets the juices flowing, and it's never a one-way street either way. You've got the likes of Rob Andrew and Martin Johnson watching from the sidelines. They know how tense it is. Look at the drive there from the Wallaroos. Beale on the field for Spencer, the captain, and Turner gets it away.
Yeah, it was always going to be a tight contest. An England-Australia game, it's always going to be one of those games where nerves creep in, where pride rises to the surface, both teams throwing absolutely everything at it. So this is exactly what we expected. In for a great last few minutes of this match.
Australia desperate to get themselves a try, to give themselves a chance and a launch pad to get within touching distance of this 12-0 lead. And Fonzie again with another tackle, marked by Richardson. Into the 22. Penalty, it's right in front. And England, are they going to be down to 14 men? Could be trouble. Fisher being called across. Fisher is going to spend 10 minutes in the sin bin. England down to 14 players. Australia with the penalty, with the momentum, with the player advantage.
Absolutely, we said it was going to be an interesting end to the game, and that makes it that little bit more interesting. An interesting call from Australia here. They've not gone for the points, I don't think. I think they've called a scrum.
And Australia have called for the scrum. They've got a player advantage in the back row. Shannon Parry coming on, replacing Hargreaves. So Australia need to strike, and strike pretty quickly. They have 12 minutes left to overturn this 12-0 lead. Two converted tries would do it. Doable, very doable. Hodgkinson straightened up, didn't it? She straightened up and there was just a chink of light.
Yeah, she saw the gap there. You could see her thinking. She saw Maggie Alfonsi thinking, I've only got two back row on the pitch, I need to cover wide. She saw Maggie Alfonsi go and took the gap, but unfortunately just went into her own player.
Substitutions.
Parry straight on. Communication just breaking down a wee bit. Latoya Mason waiting, and now coming on. Turner's been a huge part of this. Nervous times, but Gary Street is showing that he has faith in his bench.
Yeah, you know, if you're one of the England bench players here, you really believe that Gary Street has absolute faith in you. He's said it so many times, and he's putting his money where his mouth is. He absolutely believes that the players, not 1 to 15, but 1 to 26, can do the business, which is why he's making all these changes.
He took over the leadership of this since the 2006 World Cup as Beale peels away, and he's been building the depth of this squad. Beale, a perfect example of this. England trying to get out of their own half. Down to 14 players. Hit upfield from Richardson. Brown. Australia looking to counter. Gitto. Again deciding to punch this one. Waterman knocked forward. Few errors are coming in. Oh. Hello.
Hey. There's no need for that. No, there's no need for that. Okay. There's no need for that. Go back. Go back. Is that a sub?
CJ Morgan was coming flying up to Waterman there. And Waterman came off best and thus got the ticking off.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other, I think there, Will.
Gary Street and Graham Smith there. Nothing they can do now. 12-0 up. There's not enough of a safety net there. 10 minutes left to play. Heather Fisher in the sin bin. Waterman. Feisty. Brilliant counter-attacker. So if you were on there at this very moment, captaining England, what would you be saying?
Do the simple things really well. I know Rob Andrews already said it, but that's all you need to do. Secure the ball and then get the ball down the other end of the pitch. It's very, very simple game.
And look at the way the game has swung there in terms of the possession stats in this second half. England, 43% to Australia's 57%. And the scrum has solidified as well. Morgan, a couple of wobbly passes there from Australia, but they managed to pick that up, and that's nice. There could be an overlap here. England are struggling to contain the threat posed by Australia, and frustration there from Beck, who's so quick, couldn't quite get hold of that.
Yeah, Australia's starting to stretch England in the wide channels a little bit here, recycling themselves really well to make the extra player. Cover tackle there from Alice Richardson, and you know, and they're forcing the ball now because they need to get the scores. Probably on another occasion there might have been a better option to take that ball in and recycle.
Croker manages to go to the front, as she did the previous time, and securely so too. Mason there, the replacement scrum half, letting her forwards take it up a few metres. And it's breaking down, that's the turnover. Gitto. The sort of opportunity that Australia will look to thrive on soon. They're finishing strongly, Australia. Still plenty of time, just 12-0 down. England a player down. Gilchrist goes up quickly. Alfonsi there, and Crowley as well. Penalty going to Australia, and England struggling a wee bit here. Soon you could see there the scrum half and captain in her third World Cup calling for the scrum.
Yeah, the penalty counts against England. Australia putting the pressure on, but England are also putting the pressure on themselves a little bit. You know, one player down, they don't really need to be running the ball from their own half. They need to be playing the ball down the other end of the pitch.
And look at the penalties conceded there, and England conceding 6 of those penalties in the second half. Soon, Gitto, Morgan, good footwork, but fine tackle coming in. Gitto knows there's no opportunity out wide, but does extremely well to cut back in and upfield too. Soon, again, short ball, Alfonsi, big hit. Well presented though, Australia through the middle now. 15 tackles for Alfonsi and counting. So Aud taking it up a little bit further. England have the possession. And they'll be very grateful with 7 minutes left to play that they have the ball. Mason. Upfield, infield. Brown. Morgan. Gitto's waiting. Comes in from Burford. This is relentless from Australia. Still looking to crack England's defence. Go forward. Gilchrist makes the tackle. There are numbers out wide for Australia, but they can't take advantage. Becky Essex doing extremely well there.
Yeah, it's wave after wave after wave of attack from Australia at the moment. So far, England's defence has been equal to it. This half's been all about the defence, hasn't it? First 20 minutes, probably Australia did tackle after tackle after tackle. This halving, tackle after tackle after tackle.
Heather Fisher with just under 4 minutes left to wait in the sin bin. Nervous times.
It is, as we said, simple things well. I expect the girls to throw the ball to the front here, catch, drive, secure the ball really well, then play it out.
Paddy Pasanga is on. at scrum half. Porter takes the captain's armband from Soon, who's replaced by Paddy Basanga, who gets the ball there. Mason makes the tackle. Everybody absorbed by this contest. You could see the concentration on Martin Johnson's face there. Lovely run there as Richardson makes good inroads. England happy to slow it down a little bit. Australia wait for their possible opportunity. 5 minutes left. Five minutes for Australia to overcome this deficit. Lovely break! It's beautifully taken upfield by Burford. And again, Croker. England still can't quite get any points or get close to putting points on the board this second half. Waterman joining the line there. Good defence from Australia. England's forwards now setting themselves, driving hard around the fringe. Good defence again from the Wallaroos. One out again from Australia. And quite happy to make it metre by metre, and crucially the seconds tick on. 4 minutes left to get themselves into the final. Scarrett to Waterman. Barrett's cutting back in. Excellent defence again from Australia. They won't give up, they refuse to be beaten.
Absolutely, more great tackles from Australia, but what will please England now, they may not have got over the line, but they're in the Australian 22. A couple of minutes ago they were in the England 22 and really quite nervous. For them now, they're at the right end of the pitch.
Excellent covering there, again from the likes of Hodgkinson. And Ruan Sims is coming on now. Three brothers will play for the Broncos. One for McGann, so Australia still looking to score their first points of the match. And Australia just handing that one over to England now. Just the territory and the possession now for England. They won't be worried how long it takes to make the metres now. Australia to retain their discipline. Alfonsi. Hodgkinson again, right in the middle of all that's been good about Australia, but the penalty to England. Maybe the opportunity now comes to kill the game. The opportunity was there. Richardson went through the gap. One more try from England. They will feel will close the game out. Less than 3 minutes left to play. Penalty. And surely England will go for 3 points now.
Cynical in the side, yes.
So England down 14 players against 14 as Australia get themselves a sin bin player. So England got to take the 3 points surely to take it beyond 2 converted tries.
You'd have to assume it's going to be the 3 here, yeah, and the team's already come onto the pitch. 3 points will take it to more than 2 scores with just a couple of minutes to go, so absolutely the right decision.
So it's been a tough game for all concerned, as you would expect. Ruan Sims on for what? A minute? Less than a minute? So just 2.5 minutes left to play. McLean, who has started every single match in this World Cup challenge by England, all the way through the pool stages. And this kick will take England to 15, beyond 2 converted tries that Australia would have needed to score. And England supporters and players now feel they are in the World Cup final.
Yeah, I think the supporters will be breathing a sigh of relief with that one going through the posts. Australia have had a lot of pressure. I don't think the players will breathe the same sigh of relief because they've looked confident for the last 10-15 minutes in defence, even if they've not had the ball on the right edge of the pitch. Up to Australia now. Get the ball down there and see what they can do. Get some points on the board.
Fisher's back on. Nicely taken by Gilchrist. England quite happy to keep it tight. Fisher, a bit more running in her legs, having been in the sin bin. Just a minute or so until England into the World Cup final. New Zealand wait. 15-0, England's defence has been superb again. Fisher pushed backwards, Australia still straining every sinew. Waterman wriggling her way out of what was nearly a hospital pass. And Fonzie has been so impressive as ever, I think 15 tackles plus in this game. Mason, clipped upfield by Richardson. Brown has to put boot to ball. Perfect. Takes it to the line. England can hear the countdown from the crowd to the final whistle. They know after one heck of a tussle with Australia, that whistle from the referee signals that England are into the World Cup final against New Zealand.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at the joy. It's joy, not relief. You know, you were talking earlier, it's the relief of that final kick going over. It's all about joy. This is what the England girls have been working for the last 4 years, if not longer. So they are just desperate to get into the final.
Who's your Sky Sports HD player of the match, Sue?
It's been a tough one today. Both backlines have really shut each other down, so it's been very, very difficult for any of those to shine. My Sky Sports HD player of the match today is Jo McGilchrist. It could have been one of a number of forwards, but Jo's probably put in slightly one more hard yard than all the rest. There are a few players over the game. Rocky Clark, I thought, had a great game, but she went off early. Nicole Beck on the wing for Australia had a great game, but today, Jo McGilchrist.
Well, England, 4 times finalists, once winners, now go to face New Zealand yet again. Claire Allen involved with us, cruelly injured. But let's go down pitch side to a very happy Jo McGilchrist. She's with Mel.
Well, Jo, we've been hearing one game at a time for so long. Now that game is the World Cup final. Can you now talk about it?
Yes, finally we can. They were talking about from the beginning, New Zealand versus England, ever since pretty much November, but we had a long, long way to go. We've had a lot of tough tests just getting here. America incredibly physical. Ireland always run us close, and the Aussies, I know our 7 girls lost to the Aussies in the World Cup 7, so they're a phenomenal side.
How much of a relief is it that you can now actually say we've got there? There's been no banana skins that we slipped up on.
Yeah, it's a massive relief. It's a long 80 minutes, and it's been a long 4 years as well of working towards it.
We've seen some wonderful tries from England in this tournament, but how much today about the guts shown in defence?
Yeah, I think our defence is something that we've worked on massively because, I mean, it actually makes the World Cup, as it were. It's not just how you attack, it's how you defend and how you manage to keep the scoreboard to 0. We've only conceded 10 points so far, and we hope to continue that into the final.
And how many levels up was added in intensity in comparison to the pool stages?
Yeah, they're very, very intense. They've got some big girls in the forwards and they've got some very, very fast backs from their 7s experience and their touch experience.
The pace of that game, it almost looked like 7s for the opening 15 minutes.
It felt like 7s.
So what now? Is it just a case of resting up?
Yeah, 4 days of rest, food, pool recovery, foam rollers, physio and massages.
You deserve all the good bits of that anyway. Congratulations, you're also the Sky Sports HD man of the match. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's brilliant.
Oh my God, I'm hanging.
So the traditional enemies of England, Australia down by the home side here then in the semi-finals, 15-0. England through to the final for the third time in a row. They meet their nemesis New Zealand. 2002, 2006 they were beaten by the Black Ferns. Is revenge in the air? We'll see.